She's so fine. Helluva, blows my mind. Helluva, lights my day.
What's good, guys? This is in regards to the Kanika Jenkins case. Back doing a little research regarding that case, and I know I had previously brought this to the channel, but there's a little bit more information that's in this article that some might find interesting. I know I did. It's from the Chicago Sun-Times. It says Rosemont's mayor puts his nephew, the police chief, on leave for unspecified reasons. Sources told the Sun-Times that Mayor Bradley Stevens acted after being approached by members of his nephew, Donald E. Stevens III's department, with concerns about his leadership and conduct. This is from September the 23rd, 2020. There's a picture. Donald E. Stevens III. Ever since Rosemont was founded in the 1950s in the shadow of O'Hare Airport by the late Mayor Donald E. Stevens Sr., the Stevens family has held a grip on power in the tiny but politically powerful northwest suburb and kept a tight lid on problems. But Wednesday, Stevens' son and successor, Mayor Bradley Stevens, acknowledged that he has placed his nephew, Donald E. Stevens III, on leave as superintendent of Rosemont's Public Safety Department, which includes cross-trained police officers and firefighters. Contacted by the Chicago Sun-Times, the mayor, who's also a Republican state legislator, locked in a tough race against a Democratic candidate backed by the Illinois House Speaker Michael J. Madigan, declined to answer questions or come to the phone. But a brief written statement from his spokesman said, quote, Rosemont Public Safety Director Donald Stevens III has requested a personal leave of absence from his position. The mayor granted his request effective today. The Public Safety Department will continue to operate under its current chain of command, end quote. It quoted Bradley Stevens as saying, quote, I have full confidence in the integrity of our public safety officials and commanders, end quote. There is the good mayor himself, Rosemont Mayor Bradley Stevens. You can tell what he thinks about himself from the wall behind him. Donald E. Stevens III could not be reached for comment. He makes more than $200,000 a year. It's unclear whether he's being paid while on leave. Sources told the Sun-Times that the mayor acted after being approached by members of his nephew's department with concerns about the public safety chief's leadership and conduct. The Sun-Times reported in June of 2019 that the FBI had interviewed current and former Rosemont employees about a security contract given to a clout-heavy Chicago company and possible misconduct in the public safety department. In 2015, Rosemont officials awarded a contract to Monterey Security Consultants, Inc. to oversee security at village-owned venues, including Allstate Arena, the Rosemont Theater, and the Donald E. Stevens Convention Center. Records show Monterey has paid about $5 million for the work, which was awarded without Rosemont seeking competitive bids from other security companies. Sources said at the time that the FBI's interest included questions about whether members of the department illegally used and distributed narcotic painkillers. They also spoke of off-duty fights, steroid use, and excessive force complaints that yielded no punishment. Donald E. Stevens III and Rosemont were sued in 2014 by former public safety commander Frank Siciliano, who said he was, quote, pressured to ignore illegal activities, end quote, including steroid use by members of the department. The lawsuit eventually was dismissed. I just found that to be very interesting. There's a couple of things that I learned from that article that I didn't know previous to reporting this in my other video. Number one, I hate to scroll up through these so fast because it makes me dizzy, so I can only imagine, but I have to get back to the top. Number one, I had not heard why he was being placed on administrative leave, or why he requested this leave of absence. We all know how that goes. But I did not know his own department had complained about him. Also, I was aware about the contract that they had where they didn't accept any bids. They just went and took on this Monterey contract without taking the competitive bids, which is a big no-no. And but I was not aware that they were alleging the part about the narcotic painkillers, the off-duty fights, steroid use, and excessive force complaints. That being in 2019. Now, I was aware of Commander Frank Siciliano and his complaint. I've read through his lawsuit. I've read through his lawsuit in its entirety, actually. But I had not heard of that about the Monterey contract, so that was all news to me. But anywho, I wanted to bring that to the channel and just let you know that Rosemont is having some issues in the upper class, the leadership area of the police department. And I don't know, that's kind of strange. I'd like to hear more about that, actually, so I'm going to dig a little bit more and see what I can find. But I find it interesting, this article, specifically because the Rosemont Police Department played such a huge role in the Kenneka Jenkins case. And to hear some of these allegations coming out about them is interesting to me. Look, we all know that they did not investigate this case properly, thoroughly, completely. There were a lot of things that were missed. So yeah, I'm on their ass. Excuse me. I am interested to see what happens with this police department because it has smelled foul since the moment I heard the name Kenneka Jenkins. So, yeah, I'll be watching this very closely and to see what happens. But anywho, that's all I have on it tonight, so I'm gonna leave that alone. But I'm sure I'll be back with something else regarding that police department. I can almost guarantee it. But you guys have a great night. Thanks for watching.